Who has no idea what they want to build?
Signed up to a weekend welding course, loaded up my bike, figured out where I was going, and head off on a 4-hour journey across the country from Dublin to Clare. So we spent the first day learning the basics of stick and MIG welding from our fantastic teacher Deirdre, and now on day 2 we're going to be basically trying to put those new skills into action and working on our own little projects. Also, there'd been a bricklaying course going on the day before, which is what's going on there. Fancy arch and all. Morning. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
It's not like jammed in there.
If you have metal like this, it's 12mm thick. If you're building something structural out of it, you need to get a weld down in between the plates. Grind off that corner there. She's nice and chamfered, and then you use the welding rod to fill up the gap. It's almost gone all the way back through the bottom. This is much better for a structural type weld. You have a lot more meat joining the plates. Okay, so who wants to have a go at that? Okay. That's just the paint underneath on fire.
Well, that's exciting.
Don't worry about that at all. Now, a little bit of porosity here at the end. Remember what causes that? This flux is burning and it's creating a gas for your arc. It's also the coating, it's stopping the oxygen from getting in. When you pull it away too far, you're given a big massive gap, so oxygen is getting in, and that's where you get the little bubbles. But this is nice. Who has no idea what they want to build? If you want, what you can do is cut 4 squares, or 5 squares I should say, and just make a little box.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be massively functional,
just techniques.
Yeah, it'd be nice to make something functional as well, but it doesn't matter.
You'll do it.
Whatever you like. There is a fine way to go about it, and then just see your electrode won't fit all the way through. Actually, a little pointer. When you're grinding like this, what I would do is very carefully and very slowly
Score it.
draw the line with the grinder so that you have a line to follow, because that line will kind of disappear.
Close enough.
Yes.
It's workshop.
First cut, and then he'll weld on a brace to it.
So this is Tim, who's making some brackets. These brackets are going to be used on a building extension that's happening on site.
How
are you getting on?
Good, yeah. Got my piece of code to practice some of the removes.
Oh yeah. Nice. This is Jen, who's making a sign using some Scandinavian runes.
These ones were difficult with the crossover. Should be good.
And this is Una, who's making some kind of minimalistic but real beefy bookends.
Is get the grinder and just clean back to about here.
Yeah.
Just clean the paint off the edge so that when you go welding it doesn't melt and start burning and give you all of those horrible fumes. The angle finder should hold it exactly level for you. So what I would do is I throw a tack here. And a tap here, and then I take it off and I do the next corner.
Yeah. What rod are you using?
Use 6013s. They're 3.2s, so you want your heat to be just under 120.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. They're nothing, so this is good.
Hi.
Well, I have a spare bit of metal there that you can finish.
Hi.
Oh, you've got an entirely different method than I thought you would.
For this?
Well, for this one.
Yeah.
What I would have done.
That one fit inside.
Yeah, but what I would have done is you had two of them at the right angle here.
Oh.
You do the other two at the right angle like this, and then they should fit perfectly together.
I was finding it quite hard to get the spark going.
There is a lot of stuff on the table here. You could be sitting up on top of a piece of slag that's insulating you from the table because the earth is going through the table.
So this has to have good connection with the table.
Kind of, yeah. If you're finding it hard to start the arc, what I generally do is like if you don't need to move the piece around or too much, just a tiny little tack down at the bottom, tap it to the table. Then afterwards you just pull it off. It just gives the electricity an easy path to follow.
Eyes.
That actually seems to have gone into almost perfectly square.
That was the plan all along. That's close enough. Una is stick welding her bookends here under the watchful eye of Deirdre there, and I'm pretty sure she's using the same 60-13 rods that I was using as well. Pat's also making a sign here. He's already ground off all that red paint, and he's just planning out his letters now.
Right, I'll throw it back on.
Like a glove.
Doesn't even need to be welded.
No, just get them done. Una's bookends coming along nicely here. Lovely looking weld to my untrained eye anyway. And then she's just grinding the weld nice and flat so the bookend will sit nice and flat on the bookshelf. So Jen's stick welding here, but she's actually using stainless steel rods unlike the 60-13s that both Una and I would have used. And that's because the stainless steel goes nice and shiny when you kind of give it a blast of a wire brush like she's doing now. So sesh is the fourth word in Jen's pretty funny sign. I'll show you the full thing at the end. Pat is using stainless steel rods on his sign here as well. But he's not going to be hitting it with the wire brush like Jen did, making it nice and shiny. Going to let the stainless steel rods just do their natural thing, as we'll see now in a second.
It's lovely. I can't wait to see that hanging on your gate.
The colour is amazing.
Yeah, that pattern was going to be it.
And then what you said, you spray over it or something to lock it in, or?
You can varnish it or put like a lacquer spray on it to keep the colour in it.
Will it disappear if you don't?
Oh yeah, if you got a wire brush and scrub that now, it should just come out shiny silver like it.
Right.
You can put the earth directly on your work if it's it's causing a hassle as well. You've two tacks on it there, so what I would do is turn it upside down. You're happy with that flush? Yeah. I'd weld this line here first. Okay. You've tacked it here, and this one is already solid. Okay. You should be able to weld that whole square there without moving anything. And all the four sides as well. Right.
Eyes. Yes. Yes. Look at you on your own in here.
All of this lunch is just for me.
welding. Who wants to have a go? Put your middle finger against the table like that, and use that as your depth gauge. Right. It takes an awful lot of concentration when you start doing it. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that looks lovely. Even when it's messy, you don't have any of the spatter. There's no slag inclusions, there's nothing like that. So a hand movement like this, when you're dipping it in, that's a difficult one to learn, especially, you know, if you're moving your hand like this and you're doing this with the other one. Patting your head and rubbing your belly, you gotta...
Okay. Alright.
So if you can get an inch of weld done and then stop,
That's good enough.
you're good.
Am I too close?
Yeah. So you don't want to touch the tungsten off it. So you're too close again. Lift it up a tiny bit. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Okay. So what you want to do is one dip, spread it out kind of, and then another dip. Nice. That's not bad at all.
I see what you mean about the finger. And that is the end of the course. So we headed out to the coast then, camped out overnight and followed up the coast the next day into Connemara. We came across a blacksmith called Peter Folan and shot a little bit of video with him, kind of gave us a workshop tour, and we chatted to him for ages. He was lovely. And then we headed back to Dublin. Super long day, but we made it back in one piece. But yeah, definitely recommend checking out Common Knowledge. Big thank you to Deirdre and all the team up there. They were super welcoming and just a great bunch of people. Do a bunch of other courses, build schools and all that, which I think is what they're kind of known for. So yeah, check them out.